everybody, I'm Ashley.
I'm Talia.
Welcome back to Bright Ink.
Welcome back.
Today, we thought we'd talk a little bit about the publishing process so far that we've gone through. First thing
They told us their first steps. They said, we're going to get some basic information from you so that we can draft up a contract. And
then also set up for the announcement on Spoon Reads.
yeah. And they told us that we couldn't tell anybody. And we just couldn't post it on Facebook or any kind of social media.
We told our immediate families. I was
a couple
just
friends
dying to tell my students, but I knew because my students Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, everything that happens in class, weirdly, students do that.
It would get
I
out.
knew that word would spread, and so I was waiting. And finally, like the last week of school, I was like, you know what, Spoon Reads? I've got to tell my students. I'm sorry.
We thought it would happen a lot faster than it did. It took 3 months almost.
Oh, yeah.
It took a while for the announcement to come out.
Because we had to sign our contract first.
Should probably
that
explain
took
all
a while.
After they got the basic information from us, they said, hey, we're drafting up the contracts. It takes a while. So in the meantime, we'd like you to do all these things. So they sent us a list of other things to do, like write an author bio that is going to go in the back of the book.
These were all so fun things to do.
Yes. And they had interview questions for us for the big announcement. So we sat down together and answered them.
Yeah, we played off of each other a little bit, I think.
Yeah. We'll put a link to this stuff in the bio.
Yeah. And then the author photos.
Yes. And so Ashley and I went
That was
to
so fun.
Camera Shy.
So we got a couple of professional pictures for the back of the books, and then she got some adorable family pictures at the same time. So
Two
it was
birds,
fun.
one stone.
Yes.
And then we filmed our first video that same day.
Oh yeah.
And they wanted a little
That
short
was
video of
exciting.
us introducing ourselves. And she said she wanted to get a head start on like cover design, so we sent tons of pictures over of our characters.
Yeah.
That
I did some artwork for like armor designs, and we kind of
found actors and actresses that looked like people.
It was fun.
So we did all that. And then the contract still didn't come. We were waiting for forever.
Yeah,
And
we got a little impatient, but rightly so, because it took so long.
But it finally came in, and we were like, this is great! And then we looked at it, and we were like,
27 pages long
of incredibly complicated legalese words that I was like, the rights to everything. I mean, I just didn't know that this is what a contract looks like, right? Like they weren't.
Oh yeah.
They're not particularly crazy. This is just what a contract.
It was
looks
very
like.
standard, but we didn't know that because we'd never done this before.
Like rights to any potential games that might come out of this,
Some
or
of
musicals.
Yeah. It was like, there are so many things that need to be covered in this
like
contract.
All the potential
like future
foreign
books,
things, future
foreign
books,
rights,
possible reasons for termination, and like all these percentages we didn't understand, subsidiary rights, like all these things, and we were way in over our heads trying to understand this contract.
So we went to a couple of people for advice, and basically the first things they said was get a lawyer to look over it.
Or an agent. So the lawyers were your landlady.
Oh yeah, the lawyer was my landlady. She lived upstairs from me. I lived in her basement.
And my lawyer, that friend that I know, was my mission president. He lives in Texas, and his wife. Both of them are lawyers, but they're not IP lawyers, so they don't have stuff specific.
So we just kind of emailed them both, and we're like,
they went through the contracts with us.
They
and
were
helped us
so
out.
nice. Oh, because I mean, 27 pages, and they were like, I mean, it's pretty standard, like speech, but still, I was like,
this is what you should understand here and here when we had questions, but it's still. And then we reached out to author friends that we knew of. So, from writing conferences. So I emailed Brandon Mole, and you emailed...
I emailed Jara Johansson.
And we met her at a writing conference when we were younger.
She's so nice, guys. She was so nice.
She was super helpful, too.
Oh, yeah. And then I emailed...
This is a funny story.
This is the best part. So then I emailed Isaac... I forgot his last name. He works with Brandon Sanderson very closely at Dragonsteel. But I'd met him a while ago through classes with Brandon, and so I sent him an email and I was like, hey, do you or Brandon have any advice about this?
I loved what he said. I think I can quote him right, but I might be wrong. But he just said, when you're dealing with the publishing industry, to be as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. Aww. And I loved that. I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
Yes.
Just to be so easy to work with, but to be wise, because obviously they're going to want like the best deal for themselves.
Right.
So.
And he was basically just like, get a lawyer to look it over and get an agent to look it over. I'll hook you up with my agent, Ben Grange. And I was just like, I know Ben! We were in Brandon Sanderson's writing class together. We took a writing workshop. We were in the same writing group. We've been friends for a while. So it was just kind of like, the stars aligning.
That's so cool. And at this point, we're like, we don't need an agent. We have a contract, right? And as long as we can understand this contract, we're fine.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to have an agent, like, help us out a little bit. Like, just, you know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, any
stuff.
Information and help that we could get, we were just like, yes, I'll take it. Yeah, so we emailed Ben, and I was like, hey, what's up?
He's like, congratulations, Ashley.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
He's so nice. He writes his own stuff, too. But he's an agent in New York at LP Agency. And so he read it over for us.
It's like, I'm technically closed for queries right now, but
if you guys want, I will take a look at your book, and if I like it, I'll sign you on.
And we were like, well.
Oh my gosh, we were so back and forth trying to make this decision about, do we even want an agent? Like
we do want an agent eventually. Like, we know
right?
how awesome they are, but we had to like
right now.
Yeah, and so we ended up, you know, figuring out a lot more of what an agent's role, rather than just having them get you to a publisher and having them negotiate your contract. They also help you with future books down the line, and they're your spokesperson for everything legal, and they're pushing them, like the publisher, in your behalf for everything. And that was honestly the part we hated the most already.
Oh my gosh, we were stressing out so much. And just like trying to understand it. Like, it was just like
going back and forth with important things.
It's tiring and scary. Anyway, so major bonus there for having an agent is you don't have to deal with any of the legal stuff. So that was a big selling point. But I feel like the more that we learned about agents, the more we talked to Ben, we just felt good about it. Pretty much from the get-go.
We did. We felt better and better about it. And we're like, I'm feeling better about it. You feeling better about it? How do you feel about this?
Yeah. And we were like, well, let's take some time, just make sure. Talk to some people, ask advice.
We decided to give him our manuscript. We're like, maybe he won't even like it. And we sent it to him, and he got most of the way through before he was like...
He didn't even finish it. He was just like, I haven't even finished it yet, but...
I'm confident that I want to take this on.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, how would this work since we're co-authors? Would you be for us individually, like our agent individually and together? And he's all of that. So anyway, we ended up negotiating with him and finding a deal that suited us both and signing him on.
And he's so nice, and we are so happy to be working with him and so excited.
We love you, Ben.
Yes, so much.
Even in our position where we skipped over what an agent is used for at the beginning, we still recommend an agent. So
for sure. And then, so he talked to the people, finished up the contract deals.
We got things
signed. They announced
it. Oh my gosh. The announcement. We're like, we can finally put this on Facebook.
Yes.
And we posted our first video and the announcement, and
so excited.
All the things.
And then the next stage is what we're doing right now.
Val and Holly, they worked together on an awesome edit letter for our manuscript. We were super nervous to know what they wanted us to change, what they didn't like of our story.
Yeah, they sent us this letter going through basically some general things like, oh, this character or world building, and then chapter by chapter. We like this. We think this should use some work. Idea for this chapter.
Just so you have a concept of some of the things that we're changing. They did ask for more world building because they liked what we were setting up, but they thought it could use more. They loved our perspective changes in the second half of the story, but they wanted us to use more of those perspective changes throughout the entire book. So a lot of our chapters that were originally from Galene Rihanna's perspective are now going to be from Braxtis or Kostas's perspective.
Yeah. We love it so far.
Yeah. We cut out an unnecessary character. When we first read through it, we were excited about most of it.
Yes. We were like, oh,
That
that's
makes
such
sense.
a good idea.
That's
Yay.
great. And there's a few of them that I was like, no, Ashley, no, what do you think?
Yeah.
And I hear that that's pretty common. Your first
Yeah.
gut reaction to be like, no, like, you're wrong. Right? Like, this is my story. This is why it should be this way.
Yeah. FaceTime Skyped in with Holly and Val, Google Hangouts.
Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking for me to be in
Yeah.
a video call with our editors.
They were so nice.
They were great. We loved them.
Oh,
and
so
it was
much.
a good conversation. And
They explained their thoughts, we explained our concerns and thoughts, and we talked about things together, and in the end, we basically just said, oh, you're right.
there's one thing in particular that I can't talk about because it's a big plot spoiler.
They were talking, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay.
And I was
I'm
like,
okay with that.
I'm not okay with this. I'm still not okay with this. We worked out a compromise enough and explained it enough where I feel good about it. And I did tell Ashley that I have to be the one to write that section in order to come to terms 100%
Yes.
with what we're doing. We're so close to the story. We've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it through so many rewrites and revisions. We're like looking at it like
15
this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're like, oh, but we see this problem. And we're like, what problem? So I think
There's no problem.
I think this is going to be amazing. They have done nothing but good for our story.
Yeah, I fully agree.
We are really on a roll rewriting it.
Yes. I am loving it so far. I'm enjoying rewriting scenes. I'm enjoying just going back and rereading good chapters and just tweaking things to make them better. I love our story so much.
Me too.
So we're about halfway through the number of chapters
The chapters get longer at the end.
because it gets more intense. So wish us luck for the rest of it. We've got like 6 weeks, maybe 5 or 6. We can do it. We can, and it's gonna be amazing, and you're gonna love it.
We'll tell you when we finished our official rewrite of the book. Keep supporting
Yes.
us. We appreciate it.
All right, we love you
So much.